G'day everybody, and welcome back to the Sims 4 speed build. And today I was having a look around on the internet at some, I just googled, I think, cool builds or interesting builds, and I found some pictures of I think it's the tallest residential house in the United States. So I can't, honestly, I can't remember, but if you Google it, you'll find it. And this build is inspired by it. It's not identical, and I've decided to call this building the Lookout. And it basically has two quite small floors, and then it opens up to this huge cross, and that's me putting in the sneaky cheats. Opens up to some basically a cross-shaped building on the top with these amazing windows and amazing views of the surrounding area. And this time I managed not to record in a black screen, and we have the full build and what do you call it, landscaping, mental blank then, just taking a sip of my tea. So the central area, if you didn't count, is a 7 by 7 square. And I went through a couple of different color combinations. I kind of thought that it would suit like again, another sort of repurposed concrete building, or at least be built of like tilt-up concrete or something similar to that. So we're just organising stairs, making sure that they fit where I want them. I did sort of play around with getting rid of that floor there, but it doesn't really work for the look that I wanted to achieve. So we leave it in and we make use of those two floors worth of areas as well. We basically turn them into skill building areas, but you'll get a better look as we get into the decorating phase. So now we're just looking at getting some light in so I can see what I'm doing and organise getting the rooms in. So obviously we need a back entrance, and this is just putting in virtually the same as the front. And I kind of wanted it to be symmetrical as far as the build was concerned, but not as far as the internals were concerned. So it's a really unusual looking build. The build itself, I think, is not the most attractive building, but it's interesting. And certainly if this kind of building was in my neighbourhood, I would want to go and take photos of it, just simply because it has an interesting layout and it's not your usual, you know, ultra-modern concrete and glass box. This is something different. So and there we go. We've gone for the concrete. It's a plaster. I can't remember. It looks like cement over brick. So it's a little bit patchy and a little bit dirty in some places. And I really like how it looks finally. And we do actually put it on the outside in the end as well. And just fooling now with trying to get rooms laid out internally. I apologise for all the camera spinning. I was looking at it at various angles, trying to get my head around where we were going to put the various rooms. So I think we start off decorating the parents' room. This is just sectioning off the two minor bedrooms here. And okay, where are we up to? Man, this camera is spinning around. If you guys are starting to feel a bit seasick, I probably am too. So we've got all of those, the outcroppings of the X equal. Now, I actually made the roof, the angled roof at the front, and that sort of almost it almost reminds me of like a cathedral roof or something on the top. They're supposed to be black. Like, it shows black in the swatches. I don't know what the light does to it, but it certainly doesn't look light, or black, sorry, on that corrugated iron swatch. So I'm not sure, but here we go. We're starting to decorate the internals, and on the ground floor we made it a bit of an artist retreat. So you would walk into something that is similar to an artist studio, and we've gone for on each of these minor floors, we've gone for a different accent color. So you'll see in a minute I start to bring in the actual colours. I love layering rugs as well, and see our accent colour we've decided on is blue. And the great big spots on the floor of the colour, I think, create a little bit of interest. And we look for all of the plants that have got some sort of blue in them. And as you can see, there's a blue pot, there's blue flowers, there's blue patterns on the pot. And I think it comes along and adds to the actual flavour of the room quite well. It feels very artistic and somewhat eccentric perhaps. Like if you walked into here, you'd be going, well, what have we got here? But of course, as always, we add some greenery, and we want to make our concrete look less harsh while still maintaining that very upright and very contained or constrained feel. So here we are on that first floor, and we've gone for our accent colour up here as red. So we go for very much a red, black and grey kind of feeling, and again more dots on the wall with some on the floor, sorry, I should say, with that pattern there just to soften it up. And yeah, we're just getting in some, those curtains are probably not what I would choose myself. But they do really add a striking contrast to not just the white walls but the black furniture. Yeah, it's very striking, and in fact I think you could furnish a house in red, white and black and it would be probably overwhelming but very, very striking. And now we've decided, well, we're up on the top floor now, and we're creating a galley kitchen, so which is one that you can walk through from end to end. And we've gone for green as our accent colour. And do you know what? Green is not one of my favourite colours, but I really, really like how this came together. It's quite a striking colour. And it makes, the black makes a really good foil for it. It makes a really good contrast. We're just getting a few knickknacks on some shelves, making it look like it's an actual usable and working kitchen, a little more lived in and a little more appropriate to a family. And yeah, I really need to get some more stuff packed, so I've got a little more choice for some of the clutter items, because I think we're failing on our choices there. And I really like how that the plate, the dish drainer there, was available in green. I was just like fascinated, so that was really good. I was really happy to see that, and it just went really well sitting on that bench there. Okay, so we're headed into the actual dining area, and again we've gone for fairly simple. We've matched the green, which is lovely. We've picked up the green in that painting on the wall, but given it a little bit more contrast, and you can see it sort of echoes the colours in the fruit bowl, as well as I think we've got a couple of little different coloured items in the clutter. I think there we go, we've gone for a red tissue box, I think. As I said before, if my Sims have ever got a cold, I've got them covered. Colds, flus, coughs, anything that requires wiping or sneezing into, they will never go without in any of my houses. So now we're moving down into the lounge or living room area, and we of course want a nice TV for them, and we want some nice couches for them to relax on. I did fiddle a bit here with you know, putting an end table in the middle there, but in the end, nah, didn't really work for me. But I think, come up with something really cool with these tables. And we do fiddle with it a bit, but in the end I go for a couple of bookcases. that sort of match in with these really well. And I like how the curtains look like they're a full width curtain, but they've been pulled back to the edges of the windows because, you know, you really only want to close your curtains, you know, when you want a bit of privacy, and they're up on the 3rd story, so they don't really need to keep them closed. And as you can see, these tables with the bookshelves, I think, work really, really well as a whole wall sort of storage, display, and entertainment centre. It looks fabulous. I really like how this came out, and I'm actually going to ask my husband to build me something like that in real life because I really, really like it. Maybe not those colours, maybe not the black and white, but now we're, because this is a bookshelf and it's got lots of um, snap points, we are sort of filling it with a lot of clutter items, making it look like our family's got, you know, a lot of interesting collectibles and things to display. And yeah, we're just, I really like how this open feel is. It's sort of, it's open at the lounge end, it's open at the kitchen dining end, but you've got this sort of walk-through hallway, which makes it feel like 2 separate spaces. And the kitchen dining end is actually tiled, and the rest of it is carpeted. So um, it feels really good. And we need a little bit of light in that dark corridor there, so those lights look great. And in a little minute, we're moving on to the parents' bedroom, and I went with something, again, a little bit eccentric. So we've gone really bright with this sort of fuchsia pink, sort of edging into magenta, I guess, or purple. Some people would call it purple. And just trying to, you know, make it seem like it's a little bit opulent, but at the same time still maintaining that eccentric feel. So we've gone for the really frilly curtains and, you know, a purple wardrobe. I mean, who would have a purple wardrobe and this purple dresser? But do you know what? I really like how it works in pinks and reds, and that sort of bright fuchsia, magenta sort of colour are my favourite colours. So I really like working with them, and I don't put them in enough builds, I don't think. So here we are moving on to the bathroom, and again we want to make it a little bit opulent, so we've changed out one of the walls with those slate coloured subway tiles. I really, really like how they look, and you know, such a feature in modern bathrooms, those subway tiles, and a lot of kitchens as well. So you know, you can't not include them if you want your room to have a bit of a more modern look. And a complete mirrored wall to add a bit of light and open the space up, because it is quite small. The windows, you know, there's only 2 tiny little windows in there, so they do need that extra feeling of light and space. And bringing a little bit of colour in there with the painting and sort of echoing it with some of our clutter items in a minute on the shelves, I hope. There we go. We're sort of bringing those colours across into there, and doing something interesting with the lighting so that it looks, it's a little bit darker than a bathroom normally would be, but you'd be happy to do your makeup in front of that mirror. I think I would. So now we're moving across to the main bathroom or children's bathroom, and again, because it's right beside the kitchen, we're kind of echoing that green colour but softening a bit, so it's very, very pale. What do you call it? Gosh, I wouldn't even know what to call it. Love those mirrors. So cute, from the Glamour pack. What's it called? Vintage Glamour. And a little bit of an array of identical paintings on the wall. Just it echoes that green colour, and again it sort of speaks to a little bit of an eccentric taste in whoever's living here. So Now, I did initially design this as like a younger child and an older child's bedroom, and I think they still work out to have that feel, but I changed it to a much more softer, the blue and cream. That could be a younger child's room, a younger girl's room. We fill it with a few stuffed toys. It still could be, as I said, a young child's room, but a teenage girl as well that still likes her teddy bears and things would be equally at home in here, I think. Or perhaps even an adult who still liked their stuffed toys. And so now we're going to look for and like lots of teddy bears echoing that blue cream theme and bringing a few softer pastels in um, with the other toys. And we're going to stick all the little tiny toys on the bedside table there, you can see. I think it's really cute. This is a cute, soft, I hesitate to say feminine, but it certainly has a feminine feel for me. Now, that doesn't mean that I think only girls should be in there. It's just that feminine tends to be softer, more muted colours, pastels, and the brighter pinks and things. And masculine colours tend to be darker and a little bit harder, and with perhaps a little bit less decorative. So we've gone for black and white, and I think we bring in a little bit of purple in here. I can't quite remember. I did the build yesterday, and I'm just finishing this up today. But we kind of made it feel like, as I said, it was an older teens or even an adult male's room. It could be a female's room, perhaps somebody who's interested in the sciences or computing or something similar. Oh, there we go. We bring that purple in a little bit there, and that's a stack of computer hard drives that maybe somebody who's interested in technology might have cluttered up in their room. And yeah, so now we're just basically about to move on to the landscaping, and I was trying out a few different trees to see what would be appropriate, and in the end we went with these beautiful, I think they're beech trees with the beautiful white bark, and nope, the painting wasn't working for us, so we get our little patio in at the rear with no cover over it. I wanted it to sort of feel quite minimalist outside, and that perhaps the family or the people that lived here had concentrated their efforts on decorating and being really interesting and super creative on the inside, and then sort of left the outside a little bit not neglected, but perhaps to grow a little bit unruly. So this little front garden here sort of has got lots of flowers and a few stones and things in it, and it does sort of look like a flower garden that's been allowed to run a little bit riot, I think. And we're by putting some pictures, what am I saying? Some flowers, just sort of haphazardly. We're changing the orientation of them and just dotting them randomly. They kind of gives the appearance that they're kind of spreading rather than contained. And yes, you did see, I did remember to put a bin both inside and outside. And now we're getting some garden lights in and just a few more flowers dotted around. And we are about to do some, there we go, some terrain painting. Very important with your terrain painting that it just helps with the realism and makes it look a little more lived in and a little more realistic, in that, you know, underneath plants and things, the gardens wouldn't grow, and in high traffic areas, the grass would wear away. So it just adds a little bit to the realism of the build itself. And just adding in a few more decor items because I've completely forgotten. So now we head on to the screenshots, and here it is, the lookout. That's from the road. I can see local Sims coming to have a look. This is the ground floor where we've got our artist's easel, not evil. Second floor where we've got a card table and chess set. This is the beautiful kitchen and dining area. I love those little rugs on the floor. And this is the living room, really comfy and plush. This is the master bathroom, very, very opulent looking, and the master bedroom, quite eccentric, but really, really interesting and pretty. This is the main or minor bathroom with the mint green accents. First child's bedroom with the pale blue and cream color theme, and second younger person's bedroom, black and grey basically. So wherever you are today, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good one.